My name is Carrie, and I work for a place called Prevent Child Abuse Utah. And my job is to go all over Utah and go into the different classrooms and talk to kids about the different types of child abuse. So we're going to write down some definitions today about what child abuse is so we can understand it, because sometimes we hear that word, but we don't really know what that means. And then tomorrow when I come back, we'll be able to watch a movie that will help us understand how child abuse might happen and what you can do to get help if you need help, okay?
I heard about Prevent Child Abuse Utah in graduate school, and I knew when I started in an elementary setting, I wanted to involve them in my program. I remember a situation that I was directly involved in where some students were in an unsafe situation, and because of their program, it empowered them to speak up, and they are now in a safe situation. And that is why I support Prevent Child Abuse Utah, and think that partnering with our schools has been a good thing. So
3 years ago, I was wife and mother. I just had a brand new baby. I was married to my best friend, and I sent my kids to school. My girls were in 3rd and 6th grade, and they heard the program that Prevent Child Abuse Utah offers. And I had no idea how that would affect my family. I did not know that my husband was sexually abusing my children. And they learned that day that they didn't have to endure that sexual abuse any longer.
When I was presented this program, I was 12 years old, and mostly what caught my attention was that it was a crime, that something like this wasn't normal, because for me it was normal, and it happened a lot, and so it was completely new to me that something like this didn't happen to everybody, and it wasn't just in everybody's home.
I was about 8 years old when I heard the program, and I kind of thought it was a pointless class, and I was just, head down on my desk, didn't really care. So they went through the class, and it got to the last form of abuse, which was sexual abuse, and I kind of started to realize that was something that was going on to me, and so I started, paying attention in class and listening to what it really was.
What I love about PCAU's program is how age appropriate it is. It was really important for my daughters to be able to understand this vital information at an age appropriate level.
Ooh, I see a lot of thumbs up. Can somebody raise their hand and tell me, how can you tell that this is a safe picture? Yeah.
So we're going to practice our safety rules. So I want you to remember our safety rules. Listen to your uh-oh feeling, say no, and go tell.
Sometimes children don't know it's abuse. I know that seems kind of crazy to you at your age, but sometimes children don't understand that what's happening is wrong or abusive because that's how they've been raised.
Without the program, I would have never known that this thing was a crime. I remember raising my hand and asking her if these people always went to jail, and she said, not with these other types of abuses, but with sexual abuse, then yes. And I was like, oh, because I didn't realize what a serious thing it was.
Listen to your uh-oh feelings, say no, go. The program taught me to try and tell someone, maybe a parent or sometimes a friend, about what's going on and try and seek help.
And so my 3rd grader courageously told her friends, who now knew also what sexual abuse was, and she was comfortable in telling them. So she was following the program, and she wanted to tell.
Right after the class of the program, I went out to recess, and the program had such an effect that recess I told my friends what was going on. And they were, "You're kidding, right?" And I wasn't. So I made them promise that they would keep it a secret for a while because I didn't really know what to do at the time about it. I didn't know really who else to tell. Because it was my father who was abusing me, I didn't really have a parent other than my mother that I could tell.
The scary thing about child sexual abuse is that the perpetrator can wear a lot of masks. I really considered that we had the perfect family. I had just had our 5th child. We had a boy and 4 beautiful girls. And my husband had 3 master's degrees from Oxford University and was working for the governor of Utah. And I thought I had an idyllic life. One thing I've learned about sexual abuse now that I am a survivor and helping my daughters be survivors is that it is very difficult to recognize an abuser. They don't wear a monster's mask. They are in every demographic and every race, creed, color. Just because you go to church doesn't make you immune. This evil is out there, and the only way to be able to identify it is to empower our children so that they know what behavior is appropriate.
I don't think anybody else in my life would have been able to assume or guess or even think that I was being abused at all, because it was never such a weight on my shoulders as it is with somebody who knows what's happening to them. There's no way even the closest people to me would have been able to know if I had not told.
That day in school was the most important day of school that they had that entire year or in their life, because of how it helped empower them to tell their story. And it is vital. This program is vital to children, to be able to help them understand that they don't have to endure any kind of abuse. Physical, mental, verbal, sexual, neglect. I'm just so grateful for PCAU. I'm so grateful that they went into that school and told my daughters that they didn't have to endure sexual abuse any longer. Didn't matter who was perpetrating it against them. They had the right to say no.